this Wednesday in December. It is almost Christmas. Next week, I think that hit me yesterday, that next week is Christmas. So crazy. I feel like the holidays were nice and slow and paced out until we hit December. And I have no idea what happened from December 1st until now, but the time is gone. And now it's almost Christmas, which is insane to me. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for having fun with me during these Christmas holiday shows that we've been doing. I see we have Thaisa helping us. Hello, Thaisa. And Monica is here. And Michelle is also helping us. Denise, hello. You guys could probably tell I still have a bit of a bug here, a little bit of a crackly throat, but I'm on the mend. So that's good. So we are going to design together today, make some decisions together as we design. And what we're going to be using are these really pretty polished rectangle beads. I always love them when I come across them, and it was really fun to pull a bunch of colors of them because they're a really pretty bead. So we'll be looking at those up close, and we'll be probably making a necklace with them. I think that's what we're going to do today. Hello, Dale and Connie, and oh my gosh, Tanya, hello, and Denise. Oh yeah, and I'm wearing my holiday earrings. Oh, you've got good eyes, Michelle. So these are, of course, the classic margarita Christmas tree earrings. I think we probably all made a batch of them, and it's always fun to like do a different colorway each season. I've done like AB ones, like crystal AB with like aqua crystal, so it's kind of like that retro 50s vibe. You could do these in any color. We also have red margarita beads, which I think would be really pretty as well. Hello, Santa Barbara girl and LJ. Well, thank you guys for joining me today. We are live. It is 10 a.m. where I am. I'm here on the West Coast, but wherever you are joining us from, welcome. Thank you for being here. Hello, Teresa in LA. You are right here with me. Hello, PJ and Linda in Boston. Hello, Linda. Oh my goodness. And Kathleen, hello. You're in Delray Beach, Florida. I bet you're having some nice weather too. We're actually having really nice weather right now. It's beautiful out. Francie, hello. Oh no, in the hospital. Francie, sending well wishes to you. I hope you get better. Hello, Heather in Boulder. Hello. All right, I'm going to flip my camera down just a moment so we can start. Like I said, for anyone who's just joining us, we're using beautiful polished rectangle beads together. I have a few colors on my table. There's more available if you want to look. There's lots of great sales and things happening on the Art Beads website right now as we lead up to Christmas. We're having our 12 days of Christmas event happening. Oh, BJ's here and Ilka's here. Hello. And Tracy, hello. Nancy in Wisconsin, hello. And Jane in Long Island, hello as well. All right, if anyone has any questions, put them here in the comments. Any design ideas, also put them in the comments. We are going to do a bit of designing together here with these. I don't have a piece already made. I have some fun supplies to work with, but I do like it when we pick out the colors together. I have a couple different choices. I have a couple different chains. I'm going to show you how to make a unique little component, like a finding component, to pair as the other half of your lobster clasp, because I'm always stuck without the other half of the lobster, like a jump ring that's the right size or something like that. So I handmade a little component, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. As always, if you want to see my tools or my supplies, check out that shopping bag icon. Everything's loaded in there. You can see the quantity, the price, all that good stuff. The little hearts let me know you like what you see, and you could share this video with your friends or with yourself, and all the videos are saved. I think that covers it. Let's pop the camera down and get going. All right, see, it's beautiful out there today. It is going to be a gorgeous day. All right. So let's first look at these rectangles because they are really pretty. All right, I'm going to switch to my beading glasses as well. Hello, Lou. All right, so these are what these beads look like, and they come on really nice long strands. They're just beautiful. So here they are. They're called polished rectangles. They have a really neat, kind of almost like a Picasso side on this one, at least, this pretty aqua color. And I love the transparent ones. Some of them are opaque, but I think the transparent ones are so beautiful. So that's one color. Here's another one with this cool kind of like tortoiseshell design. You can see that when it reflects through the light. So this has got like a nice rosy color to it with that tortoise shell. So it's almost like a pink with the tortoise shell. I'm going to show you all the ones I picked. I put a few other ones into the shopping bag as well, and then there's more on the website. And some of them, so they're all full strands. Of course, when you get it, it's a full strand. So I had an incident so I set up my bead table, right? And then Twix came by. She knocked the whole thing on the floor shortly before the show. So some of the bead strands are a little shorter than they were to begin with today, but I've got the extra beads right here. And I'm sure some are under the couch as well. But you see that these are just beautiful. I do like the transparent ones, but there are opaque as well. I like this color as well. This is almost like a sea foamy. So I love that with those pretty sides and that tortoise shell. I know Twix is wonderful. So I have to tell you guys, so the whole family's been under the weather, right? So we've all basically been home for 4 days straight. And this is the first day the kids have been able to go back to school. And she is so bored. She is getting into everything because she just is like, where's my playmates? Because she's been used to having everybody home, just sitting with her for 4 days. So she's a little bit annoyed that people are out and about and going to work and going to school. So these are the other ones that I have right now. You know what, Santa Barbara girl? She really is. She has been the best addition to our family. She has brought so much joy. Okay, so these are all the ones that I have to play with. I also pulled out one other bead that is not the rectangle, and it's this pretty little vertical whole leaf. And I just felt that its colors and it being transparent as well really accented the rectangles nicely. So I thought we might use this as well. Oh, hello, Patrina. And so if you see these together, I think you'll probably see what I was talking about. Like they just look really nice together. So I did bring out the leaves if we want to use them. They do get spoiled so quickly. She is so accustomed to just being loved all the time. And we were calling her Nurse Kitty because she kept going to whoever was feeling the worst and snuggling them the most. So she was being very, very sweet. So this is what they look like off the strand. So they have a nice hole right down the center. So it's a vertical hole, which makes them easy to work with. And then I also brought out some pretty chain. I was going to do antique brass. I thought the colors went really well with antique brass for this. So I have this chain here, and I've got this chain here, which is a little bit bigger. I think I might be tending towards this pretty oval link chain. So I've got that. Then I've got a lobster clasp. And as I was saying in my kind of intro here, I always seem to have a hard time finding the other half to a lobster, right? Because you buy the lobster, but you don't get the other component that goes with it. And usually you just use a jump ring. I tend to run out of those jump rings before I run out of my lobsters. So I made this. And I'm going to teach everyone how to make this. So this is a little component that can be the other half to your lobster. And it's really easy to do, and you do it from a 3-inch head pin. So that's going to be really quite easy to do, and it'll give you a little trick for the future when you are maybe in a similar bind where you have a lobster clasp and you don't have a jump ring or you don't want to use a jump ring. So I'll show you how to make your own little custom component right here, and you can customize it with any bead that you want. Yes, Tracy, the top of the strand. I think you're meaning like the top of the bead right here. So this is what the top of this bead looks like. You can see what that looks like. And the top of this, so the strand itself, I think this is like what a whole strand looks like, because this is on this actual kind of plasticky cord. So this is a whole strand. Oh, hello, Lori and Hazel. And I saw that we just got a little reminder from Michelle that this is the last day for orders to ship priority mail and arrive before Christmas. So that is important to note. I know I was at the post office mailing family packages out yesterday. All right, so those are the components. And then I did bring out some seed beads, just if we wanted to use them. These are in the shopping bag. I don't know if we'll use them or not, but there were a couple mixes. I love mixes, of course. They add a lot of nice little variety, and then you only have to buy one tube. And then I've got this is this avocado pink color that I really love. What is it? Opaque, marbled opaque avocado pink. Have it in a couple sizes. It's just a really nice seed bead, and I think it goes really well with these because they have these, a lot of these have that kind of modeled Picasso sides to them, and I think these accent it well. Oh, hello, Teresa. And then I have this as well. So we have some seed beads to work with. We've got the beautiful rectangles. We got the chain. We have the leaves. We're going to hand make our own little finishing component. And we're going to use some stringing techniques to string a necklace, I think. So what I had in mind, and everyone feel free to disagree or chime in or let me know what you think. I thought we would do a double strand necklace hanging from some chain. So maybe what we'll do is we'll cut the chain in half. Maybe we won't even use a full half. Maybe we'll use 3-4 inches on each side. Oh, Twix, do not play with the lights. Twixie. All right, sorry guys. Twix is gonna take down the lights here in a minute. She's trying to pull the cords. Oh, I'm seeing a yes. Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, so let's do a couple inches up behind the neck. We'll finish it with the lobster and our little handmade component. Twix. Twix, I'm gonna have to send you in with your dad in a minute. All right, and then I was kind of thinking maybe 2 strands, and we can either do solid strands of one color of these, or we can mix up the colors. We can do whatever we want. I mean, I'm particularly drawn to this aqua one. I think this one's really pretty. And then maybe this kind of pinky one too. And we can either do like 2 strands, like graduated, like one's a little bit longer than the other. If we start to lay this out. So that's a really pretty color combo. We could also, of course, put different colors of beads within the strands. And I was thinking up near the ends of each strand, maybe add a little leaf going in this direction as it tapers to where we're gonna crimp it. So I thought that could just be a slight little accent on both of them. So we'll only end up using 4 of these, and they would just be at the ends. Pink and yellow, mix up would be nice. Okay, and I saw pink and yellow. So I have 2 that are kind of yellow. Which ones were we thinking? Like this one here, and then there's one that's a little bit more of a milky color. This is a little bit more of like a yellowy. I know, Twix, I knew she was gonna be trouble during this because she is so bored without her family here. Aqua, okay, I love aqua. So maybe keep it all on the light transparent side and use this yellow. Milky, oh, I'm seeing milky. Okay, we can do milky. Put the milky in there as well. We can definitely do that. So do we want to, let's open up these strands and start kind of playing here. I'm gonna clear a little space. All right, so I'm gonna open up the strands, the aqua and the yellow. Ooh, that is pretty. That is a nice color combo. So maybe do the aqua and the yellow together, and then we can maybe see if we want to add anything to that one as well. Oh, no transparent. No as in no transparent, like don't use it, or change this milky out to the transparent. Should we change the milky out to the transparent or keep the milky? Does anyone, oh no, Gina. Aqua and yellow. I like aqua and yellow too. I think the aqua's yellow is great. Is this one the one that we mean by the yellow? I have 2 on here that are kind of on the yellow side here. Change. Oh my goodness. I love it. Sometimes we end up unanimous and sometimes we end up with a pretty even split of what we should be doing. Keep the milky, keep the milky. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people say keep the milky. Yes, I can show the aqua and the teal together. So here's this one, and here's this one. So one is more vibrant than the other. You see one, definitely one has a little bit more of a subdued brown look, and one has more of that aqua-y blue. Okay, I'm seeing a lot say keep the milky. So let's keep the milky. I think that was the overriding decision. All right. All right, so we're gonna put these guys out. Yellow milky, okay, perfect. lay them out to see. That's a good idea. I think we'll put them on the strand and see how they start to look together. So I'm going to be using some beading wire. I'm using the 0.015 7-strand. You can definitely use a 19 strand or 49, whatever you like. I'm going to cut myself, let's see. Well, first off, I'm going to cut off whatever this weird knot is. This is probably going to be an 18 to 20 inch necklace. We're going to have at least 6 to 7 inches of chain. So we're going to need probably 14 inches of beadwork at least. And I want 3 inches on each side. So I'm going to cut myself about 20 inches here. Hello, Twix. Okay. So let's start. Maybe we'll cut even a little bit more because I'm going to try to drape these before I finish them. So let's do maybe 22 inches. Actually, that was just going to be, let me start over. Okay. So 6, 12, 18, 20. I'm going to start with 22 inches just so that we have a little bit of extra if we need it. And I'll put the bead stopper on to start. Okay, so we've got that. Oh, hello, Mary. All right, and so I also want to have this incorporated as well. I do think that's just such a pretty, pretty leaf. I've come to really love these leaves. I've used them a lot. You've probably seen that I've used them a lot. They're just so easy to incorporate with that nice vertical hole. Oh, I missed a question, sorry. Let me see. Oh, how do you correct it if the wire gets bent? Ooh, good question, Sherry. You can try to kind of bend it back in place a little bit. If it's super bent, unfortunately, I feel like you kind of have to start over. Like, I don't know if I can even bend it on purpose, but let me try. So like if it really gets a bad bend in it, let's see if we can make a bad bend. Okay, so if it gets a bad bend in it, you can try to straighten it out and kind of try to bend it the opposite way. But it is pretty tricky. I almost feel like if it gets a really bad bend in it, you're almost better off just cutting that piece off and starting over. Does anyone else have any tips if your wire gets a bad bend in it? Because that's a really good question. Because yeah, once it gets that really bad bend in it, it is a bit hard to get out. I do. Thank you, Diane. Yes, my whole family got it. I'm thankfully on the mend, but we sure got hit hard. But thankfully, if there's some silver lining, at least we got hit hard the week before Christmas and not on Christmas. Knock on wood. Okay, PJ's saying I cut it off. Yeah, that's what I tend to do as well. If I have that bend in there, yeah, it is tough because you don't want to waste supplies, but sometimes you have to. Yep, Janice is saying start over. All right, so now do we want to incorporate some seed beads between these, or do we just want to create a pretty pattern with our rectangles? So I do have a couple sizes of that marbled opaque avocado pink. I also have these bronzy cubes, which are really neat and shiny as well. Seed beads, okay. And then I have these tiny ones, but they might be a little too tiny. Yes, seed beads between. So which seed beads do we want to do? Do we want to do something like the size 8s, these opaque avocado pinks? That might be a nice size to put between them scale-wise. I'm kind of tending towards that. I really love these colors, but I'm not so sure on the scale. Let's try this one first. Avocado pink, okay. Yeah, this is like, I think I've used this color a lot. You guys have probably seen this color pop up a lot. I just think it's a really neat seed bead. It's got a really, really pretty finish. If you can kind of look at that. It's speckled. All right. So let's go ahead and slide that down. Let's try it with just a seed bead between each. And I'm wondering, so we have a lot of decisions here. We can either do a mix where we can just do like yellow, aqua, like an A-B pattern, or we can do maybe 5 yellows and then a strip of aquas in the center, and then 5 more yellows coming out. Oh, hello, Maria from El Paso. All right, let's see. Yeah, I like the 8-O's too. Okay, so let's put on a yellow. And that seed bead does look nice with it right there. If you see that seed bead with that pretty leaf as well, I think that's a good choice. All right, so let's just first see what it would look like if we just did a simple back and forth yellow, aqua, and we'll see if that sits well with us or if we want to try something more like a color blocking. Okay, so here would be back and forth. So here is using the 2 different colors together, kind of how they're playing off each other. Do we like that? Should we continue with that pattern? Or do we want to do more of a solid block of yellow, solid block of the aqua, solid block of yellow? Oh, hello, Kelly. I like this. Okay, let's keep up with this. And I'm seeing a bunch of hearts. Okay, let's do it. It's hard to go wrong with just a pretty repetitive pattern like this with beads that complement each other. I like that. Okay, good. Yeah, I saw a couple of comments when we started of people saying, I've seen these rectangles, but I've never known how to use them. And that's perfect because that's kind of how I have felt before too. I've used them just a couple times and I've really, really enjoyed what they look like, but I feel like there aren't that many designs using them. So it's good to kind of show how to use them. All right, and we said we wanted about 14 inches of beadwork for this particular strand. So let's do that, but we're not going to trim it off until we make our second strand so we can get this to hang. Yeah, I love the rectangles too. So I feel like, you know, sometimes you've got those memories and you're not quite sure where they come from. You just have like an impression that you have a memory of something. I have an impression that I have a memory of seeing some jewelry made out of these rectangles at like a museum gift shop, like at the Louvre or at like the British Museum. I just feel like I saw some really elegant, beautiful gallery type pieces of jewelry made out of these at a museum gift shop somewhere in the world at some point in my life. And I don't know why, but that's just sticking with me. No, they're not heavy. They're not heavy. Great question. Let me see. Where's another pretty full strand? Because I pulled some off. Yeah, they're not heavy. They are glass. They are beautiful glass beads, but they are not overly heavy because they're nice and thin profile. But not paper thin either, but they're not too heavy. So this necklace is not going to weigh you down. Ooh, I like the idea of rectangular gemstone beads were popular too and beautiful. I love that, Nancy. Can you imagine if you interspersed rectangular gemstone beads with these guys? That would be really pretty too. Actually, any gemstone with these rectangles, I think because of this neat kind of organic feeling side would be really pretty. All right, let's see what we've got here in terms of length in a few minutes. I feel like I'm almost to about 14 inches. Okay, let's get out the ruler. See, don't think we're quite there yet, but let's look. So 6, nope, a little bit longer to go, but we'll see what this is looking like. Yes, the rectangular beads are definitely light enough to make earrings. I would not hesitate at all to make earrings out of them. Oh, good, Lori. Yes, go try to dig them out, see what you've got. Yeah, they're really beautiful. I think they're a nice alternative. I think we use a lot of rounds, at least I know I do. So it's fun to have a completely different shape. All right, I'm going to measure this again. Let me clear off a little bit more space here. We can kind of see what we're doing. All right, so here is our pattern. And we've got 6 inches. Okay, so we're up to 12 inches at this point. I only need 2 more inches. Yes, the table cuts are beautiful as well. Right. This should do it. I feel like we're going to be even more, a little longer than what we were thinking. But I was thinking of this being between an 18 and a 20-inch necklace when finished. So I think this will be about right. Let me add our little leaf here at the end as well. Okay, so this, let's measure out what we've got. Nice and long on this mat. Yeah, the Melky rectangle should be listed. If not, because I do sometimes miss things, I know Michelle and Thaisa can add them. So if need be, they can definitely add them. So this is about 14 3/4. So this is about 14 3/4 inches long. This is what we've got thus far. So we started and ended with that pretty little leaf bead, just as that added little touch. And so I'm going to just go ahead for right now and secure. I thought I had another bead stopper. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to secure these both in my bead stopper. Oh, a focal would be nice as well. Absolutely. That's something I need to work on next year. I feel like I tend to make these beaded pieces, but I don't often think to add focals. That would be a fun challenge in the new year, is to add focals. Yeah, they do. They rotate really nicely. They're fun. Okay, so there is our first strand. Ooh, I love it as like a teardrop shape. Okay, so now we're going to do the second one, and we said this pretty kind of pinky color. So now our decision is, again, do we want to keep it just solid, or do we want to mix it? So do we want a solid color of this pretty pink, and we'll go a little bit shorter? Or do we want, oh, we could mix it up more with leaves though. This one could have more leaves. We could actually go and intersperse leaves between the rectangles. That could be kind of neat. Feeling like I might want to just try that and see what happens. And of course, we could always add another color of rectangle in here too. We could even do this kind of more transparent yellow we were looking at, or this lighter color here as well. Add green from the other turquoise bead. Mix it. Okay, let's try it. I'm going to pull off this other rectangle. So we're just using lots and lots of these beautiful rectangle beads. It's fun to mix them all up. And use that bead mix too. Oh, the bead mix. The bead mix. This one? Are we thinking this one, the pretty little metallic-y bronze? That could be really pretty in here too. Let's try it. I'm seeing lots of hearts. Okay, so we've got our supplies. And we still got this little avocado seed bead out here as well. So let's put the finished one aside for right now. Let's take these guys off. Okay, I love those. Okay, let's cut ourselves some more beading wire. And let's see, the last time I cut 24 inches. This one's gonna be a little shorter, but I'm still gonna overcut because I just don't wanna run low at the end of the day. So I'll cut myself 20 inches. And we have another bead stopper. Yeah, we'll definitely put the whole necklace together at the end. What I think I'm going to do is, because I feel like the last time I made a double strand necklace, my strands were not separated out enough. I feel like they ended up kind of sitting on top of each other a little too much. So I thought what I would do this time is I'm going to wait to do any of my finishing techniques until I get both strands completely strung. Then I'm going to lay them out and kind of hold them up and make sure that they drape how I want them to drape. I'm going to try to learn from my last one where they was like a little bit overcrowded. All right, so here, let's go. So this bead mix here has some really fun ones. So it's got super shiny and also matte and a couple different sizes of what look to be cube or triangle beads. Definitely some of these are triangles, which are neat. Okay, so let's add a shiny. Here's a really pretty little shiny one. Pull that down. And let's go ahead and add this guy, this pretty pinky color. And then what next? I kind of want to see, I don't know if this is going to look good or not. Let's add another leaf going the opposite way. And then let's add this seed bead from the mix as well, followed by an aqua. I just want to see what this pattern looks like. Maybe we want to get rid of the extra leaf, or maybe we want to keep it. I'm not sure. Do we want to be incorporating more leaves or keep this primarily a rectangle-based project? Because I could repeat this whole pattern for the whole strand if we like it, but maybe that's a little too many leaves and we should keep it more rectangle focused. Does anyone have a preference on that? Leaves. I'm seeing Linda saying leaves. Okay, let's try the leaves for a little bit. And then I think I'll try on each side. More leaves sounds good. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to try this nice kind of bigger matte cube bead on either side of the this aqua-y color. That way it balances out, because this cube bead matches this rosy pink bead very well. So that's really pretty. All right, so then let's repeat that. So I'll need some more leaves. Okay, so then I want this to go on the right direction. There we go. And then a shiny metallic, and then a pretty purpley pinky color. Another shiny metallic. Another leaf. I'm seeing lots of leaves. Okay, good. Oh, this is coming along pretty. Okay, so definitely, oh, wrong color. At home, definitely if you want to not do so many leaves, of course you don't have to. You can mix and match. You can kind of see how this is going, where you have a lot of flexibility on what you want to do here. But here's how it's starting to look with those leaves and those pink beads and those nice cube beads from the mix. And if we lay this together, kind of start to see how this is going to build out, I think that'll be really pretty. It gives you some nice contrast between your strands. So, but there's also another way, because there's always more than one way of doing things. I even think it would be gorgeous just to make two identical strands of this and have that as your double strand. So I think that could be really pretty too. We're going to do it where we have two different strands playing off of each other, but I think it could be just gorgeous to do this on repeat as well. Okay, let's go ahead and make this one. We said our other one was 14, what did we say? 14 and 3/4 inch long. So let's try to make this one about 12 inches and see how they drape. Okay, now we need another leaf. Oh yeah, them separately. Yeah, I think they would be beautiful separate as well. I feel like this is one of those designs that there are a million different ways of doing it, and each way is going to look unique and different, and it's going to be one of those things where it's just a personal preference which way you like it, and maybe you like it 4 different ways. It's kind of one of those fun patterns that I think there's just so many different ways of doing this. Okay, and I'm just going to keep repeating this. And I'm grateful for my bead mix because it's nice to have coordinating beads all in one place of different sizes and shapes. It's always nice. I've become a big fan of bead mixes. I think I probably have Megan to thank for that. She made so many pretty bead mixes this year that she made life so easy for designing that I know I've grown accustomed to wanting to just make sure I always have a bead mix handy. Okay, so here you go. So you see how this one is looking here. And it's so funny because I don't feel like I use transparent beads that often. And these are so pretty. I love them. Oh, I like that. You could put lobster clasp at the end of the strands to interchange. That's a nice idea. You know, I don't have that many lobster clasps handy, but I love that idea. Or you can make two separate necklaces. Then you just sometimes wear them together, sometimes wear them separately. You could do that as well. It gives you more versatility for sure that way. Okay, and then I need this one. These leaves I just had picked up because I was like, I'm going to use them for something. I don't know what, but I'm going to be using them for something. So I'm glad they're coming in handy. I have some different pieces that I do that with. I'm just like, I don't know, someday, somewhere, this will be the perfect bead. So I've got to pick it up now. I love, yeah, Lori, I'm with you. I wish I actually had two lobster clasps handy here because I think I would probably make these as two separate necklaces, different lengths, so that they would stack together when I wanted them to. And when I didn't want them to, I would wear separately. So I love that idea too. All right, so how are we doing with length here? We're gonna have to check our length here in just a minute. Let's put on this leaf and see how long we are. Yeah, I think given if I had another clasp handy here, I think I really like the idea of doing these as separates, just because they're both really unique and pretty. And I feel like it would be fun to have two necklaces versus one. Okay, so we've got 6 inches. Okay, we're at 12 inches. All right. Oh, finish with a jump ring and then get a second clasp later. Oh, I could do that. Do you guys want to do two separate ones? We'll just kind of fake it since I don't have two lobsters. And then what we'll do is I can just finish it later so we see what it looks like as two separate necklaces. Because we could do that. That's a good idea, Kat. Because I do have some little jump rings. I could just finish it that way. Oh, I'm seeing lots of hearts. Okay, we could do that. So instead of making this a double strand, we'll make two necklaces that can be worn together. One will finish with the lobster, and I'll teach you how to do our little lobster trick. And then I'll finish the other one later. Yeah, I think, see, this is why I love it when we design together, because I think we come up with better ideas as a group. So I like it when we get to do these designs together. Two separate. Okay, love it. Okay, so let's lay this out and see what these look like, because even though they're going to be separate, we want them to sit together nicely. All right, so here we go. So oh, it's pretty. It's so pretty. All right. Well, also, if we're making two separate, that does give us a better opportunity to adjust the sizing and the lengths later. So, all right, these are ready to have their chains added. So I was thinking 3 inches of chain on each side for each of them. Tracy, I love it. Yeah, you could definitely make a bracelet and earrings to match this as well. Oh, Linda, see, I like that. I often make 2 necklaces so you can choose one or both depending on the mood. I think that's so smart. I'm liking, so it's kind of like, you know how we make a lot of stacking bracelets? Why don't we make stacking necklaces? We should make stacking necklaces the same way that we make stacking bracelets. So then it gives us all the choices that we need. All right, so let's use both chains then. So this gives us an opportunity to do that. So you won't need more than 1 foot of each chain because we're only going to be using 6 inches total. So let's do 3 and 3. So this one is small little oval links and big oval links. And so I'm going to do 3 inches starting from a small oval link. And then I'm going to cut this big oval. So I start and stop with a small oval. Okay. Okay, that's a great idea. So Kat's saying larger chain for the teal and yellow, smaller chain for the pinkish. I agree. I think that's a good idea. Okay, now we're going to want to make sure we have the same length of chain here. I'm just lining this up. So I'll cut right here, and then you could keep the rest of the chain for a pair of earrings, a bracelet, whatever else you want to do. You'll have 6 inches of chain left. So that is going to be good. So let's put this over here and over here. Let's cut this chain now. And this one is the same link on repeat. So we're not really having to worry about which link we're going to cut through here. We just want to make sure we have 3 inches. Okay. And I did get some jump rings as well when we get up towards the clasp. But I think what I'll do is I'll crimp right onto the chain link for our finishing to get the beads secured onto the chain. And I did get some thread and wire protectors as well. I just thought it'd be like a nice added touch. We can see if we want to use them or not though. I always feel like they're kind of an optional thing. Okay, so we've got our chain cut. And then I have some little antique brass not jump rings, oh my goodness. Some little antique brass crimps. And these are crimp tubes, not crimp beads. I don't like crimp beads. I find them hard to use. So I always use crimp tubes. If you've struggled with crimp beads, try using a crimp tube. They are easier to work with, I find, and they seem to hold a bit better as well. All right, so we've got a standard pair of crimping pliers, just your regular ones, not the mighty, not the micro, just regular. And I need a bead stopper on here, and I'm going to put a bead stopper on here as well. All right, so let's pick up this strand first. So we've got our end. We have to add a crimp tube. Just like so. And then, do we want to use thread and wire protectors to go over the chain link, or do we just want to go right onto the chain link? I think either option is totally good and valid. It's just if anyone wants to see the thread and wire protectors used, or we can just go right onto the chain link. Yes, Tracy's saying yes. Okay, so for these guys, if anyone's never seen these before, they're like a little horseshoe, and they have a little channel up top, and they've got these 2 little holes. So you go through one, really, really easy to use. You loop back down through the other hole, like so. So you've got your wire in this like little horseshoe, and that protects it from rubbing. So it helps to protect your wire from wear and tear. So then this was the one that we were going to connect here. And so I'm just going to find the end little link, and we're going to go through it, and we're going to shimmy it on into our thread and wire protector, right? Like so. So you see how it's nice, it's metal on metal then. And I kind of like to pinch these a little bit just to kind of close them up a little bit. And now we're going to go through our crimp tube and pull that up. So this is the whole layout that we have right now. We're going to pull it up a little bit more. And then we are going to crimp it. So back notch first, the little kidney bean. And I like to make sure it's kind of pulled up there, and then separate out your strands. And then when you've got it, give it a good squeeze. And it should hopefully go into 2 channels like that. And then you go ahead and put it upright in the front notch and give it a good squeeze, and it folds it over like a nice little sandwich. Oh, okay. So Michelle, I'm trying to read your question. So why I would think I'm having a really hard time getting it in. Getting the crimp bead in? I'm trying to figure out, or the thread and wire protector. We can definitely try to help. And I just saw your question too, LJ, about flush cutters and side cutters. You know what? I actually want to defer to Michelle on that one. I feel like I've seen different comments about, or different notes about flush cutters and side cutters. I'm going to see if Michelle has a proper answer on that one. Oh, okay. Michelle, let me go, when we do the other side, I'll see if I can share some tips for that. All right, so here we have that is complete right there, and I put it through one adjacent bead. And then we're going to let this drop down so that we don't have any gaps. And we're going to secure our other side. So I want to say flush cutters give you a good cut on both sides, but like I said, I really want to see if Michelle or Thaisa has a more official answer, like from the plier manufacturers, because I have really seen differing notes on that, and I just don't want to give the wrong answer. Okay, so thread and wire protectors. Okay, so you're saying you have a hard time, you could get through the first one, but have a hard time getting it through the second. So the first one, yeah, it is pretty easy to go through the first. So what I tend to do is I don't pull it all the way down to begin with. I have a nice long gap here. Then I pull it and I'm kind of pinching it in my fingers so that it just can be pushed through on this side. So I'm really stabilizing that. And then once I've got it through, I hold it and I pull, even though I still have a really big gap right here. I think it's easier if I don't work right down near the beads. And then what you can do is you can then pull it down towards the beads once you've got it through those 2 holes. So maybe that will help. If you give yourself a little bit more room, give that a try. Also just try stabilizing it. Like I do pinch it between my fingers to kind of stabilize it. See if that helps at all. And then we do need to attach our other chain part right here. Oh, that's a great point too, Nancy, about different sizes. So yeah, check your sizing, because maybe it's just a product mismatch. That's always a good thing. That's kind of like, there's those things that always are a good thing to check to begin with that sometimes we don't think about. But yeah, that's a good idea to check that you have the right sizes. I like that. Okay, and then we're going to go through here again, that crimp tube. Okay, so now it's linked into our chain. We've got it here. I do like to pinch it a little bit, bring it a little bit forward. And then I do this. So I don't like it when my jewelry is too stiff. So before I actually crimp this, I am going to, one, check for gaps, but also make sure that this has some movement to it and some flexibility before I crimp it. So even right now, this feels a little tight to me. I feel like this is kinking up just a little. So I'm just going to pull it out a little. I would rather have the smallest little gap of beading wire, but have a flexible necklace that doesn't feel stiff. So I'm actually kind of going through here and just making sure that there's the ability for this to move. If you were to try to crimp this in a straight line, it would be stiffer when you curve it and wear it. So yes, wiggle room, exactly. It is important to have wiggle room. All right, so I feel good about it. So you even see like right here, look, I have a little bit of an exposed bit of wire right there, and I'm okay with that. I kind of feel a little better having that exposed bit of wire, just so that this has some flexibility to it. Okay, and now pulling it apart, my strands are apart. And I saw the good idea about a show on having what you do with the extra bits of wire. That's a great idea. You know, I've seen cool, almost like dangles on earrings made out of little bits of beading wire. Those have been fun to see. Sometimes people put little balls on the end of it too, which is neat. So yeah, there's lots you can do with it. All right, let's finish crimping this one. And then, all right, we're gonna put this piece of wire through here. I do it through the one adjacent bead. Some people put it through a bunch of beads. Some people put it through no beads. Again, it's one of those personal preference things. I just think one bead is good for me, but again, you don't have to. Nancy, you are so right. You are definitely right on that one. Okay, then we just go in and we can trim our wires. And this is not a finished necklace yet. We haven't done the clasp, but let's get our crimping done on both first. All right, so now that we've got this done, kind of, you can see it's got some nice wiggling. I am using some Bead-A-Lon wire. You can definitely use soft flex. For me, the most important thing is I think that 0.015, this is my go-to size. But there's lots and lots of brands. You can use whatever one feels good to you and whatever works for you, for sure. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad I left that wiggle room. So this actually feels like it can move and curve. And this is what we have so far. And now let's go ahead and do our other one, same way. Okay, I noticed my little leaf fell off of this one. Oh, thank you, Diane. I'm so glad we said to do 2 necklaces. I'm really liking that. I think just it's going to be fun to have 2 necklaces to wear versus just the one. And then it's the choice. Then it's like, do you want to wear them stacked? Do you want to wear them separate? And you've got all that nice flexibility. All right, so let's go. We're going to do the same exact finishing techniques on both of these. It's nice. We got 2 different chains as well. If you don't want to do 2 different chains, you don't have to. In that case, just order 1 foot of one style of chain, because we're only using 3 inches on each side. So even with the 2 necklaces, 12 inches is still going to be enough. So you don't have to order any more than that. But here you can see that nice connection with that thread and wire protector. Okay. All right, so here we go, and I am going to pinch it. Just bring it a little closer together. I love it. Okay. All right, just making sure I've got this in here. All right, so that side is now crimped. Yes, that is the neighbor's dog barking. So we have on our street right now, of course, a ton of deliveries for Christmas time. And then we have a couple houses that recently sold and they're remodeling them. So there's a ton of like construction vehicles and plumbers and electricians. So it's just a super active street right now. And the neighbors' dogs are definitely not happy. And we have 2 neighbors with 2 dogs that live right next to each other. And I think they trigger each other. So That is what that is. Oh, okay, Diane, good question. So yeah, I felt like the scale of the seed, this tube of seed beads was a little bit small for this particular design, but these are beautiful seed beads and I would absolutely use them in another design. So I use these type of seed beads all the time in my bead weaving designs because they're perfect little fillers. They fill nice little gaps and small spaces to help your beads sit properly. I've also done bead weaving with these just to make like beautiful sparkly earrings. I use these all the time for designs, but it is something that to kind of keep in mind is when you are making something like this, you want the scale of your seed bead to match the scale of your bigger beads. But these are, I use these a lot. You can even use these on memory wire bracelets, different stretch bracelets, things like that as well. A stretch might be a little hard with these ones, but they should work on a memory wire. So there are other uses for them for sure. All right, so then we're gonna go through this one and we need to attach the other chain. All right. Okay, so here we go. And so again, I'm gonna curve this on purpose. Make sure that it's sitting on my beading mat in a nice curve. And I'm gonna pull this down, but I am gonna leave that little bit of wiggle room gap on purpose. So there is a little gap in my beading wire. I feel like, you know, we learn things that we need to work on as jewelry makers through our design. Like I know for sure I need to work on making sure my jump rings are fully closed because that always is a struggle for me. But I feel like I also need to work on making sure that I leave wiggle room on my strung pieces, just so that they're not too tight. That's another kind of just mental note of, as I continue to create jewelry, like just make sure that they're comfortable to wear, that they sit nicely, things like that. And everybody's different. So that might not apply to other people and they might have already kind of conquered that. Oh, I heard a little snap. I think I was almost getting the chain in there. There we go. It's okay. It's still sandwiched over nicely. All right, and then we're just gonna put this through here and we'll trim our wires. All right. Okay. All right, so the foundation for our two are done. So now we just need to finish them off, but this is what they look like. I'm gonna hold the chains at the same length to kind of see what we've got here. So here are the two necklaces and here we go. Oh, they're pretty together. I think they're really pretty together. Yeah, I know. I know, I heard that as well. It was like, oh no, but it didn't look like it did anything. I think I almost got the chain in there. All right, so I'm gonna flip my camera up a little bit right here because I wanna hold this up so that you guys can see how these sit lengthwise, because this would be really easy to adjust if we wanted to by just cutting off a little extra chain or adding more jump rings up at the clasp. So here are the two strands. I think their length is not bad. Because you don't want them on top of each other. We could make it a little bit shorter on the bottom one if we held it like this, so they're a little closer together. But I almost feel like they might start to get to be too close. But again, that's a really personal preference. So you can decide how big of a gap you want between the two necklace strands. And see how you want it to sit. You have a lot of flexibility when you're doing the two completely separate necklaces here. Keep as is. Okay. All right, I just saw a couple keep as is. And there are my Christmas chimes. All right, so we're kind of gonna just fake this one because I don't have two lobsters. but you would finish this one the same way that we're gonna finish this one. So I told you at the beginning, I was gonna show you what to do if you don't have a jump ring. So let's see, we've got our one lobster right here. So that's easy. We're gonna use a jump ring to attach the lobster. Yes, you could definitely adjust the length right there where you attach the lobster, and you can easily adjust it by cutting off a couple chain links or adding a couple jump rings to one side or to one necklace. Really easy to adjust the length because you're not having to alter your strung beaded portion at all. All right, so I just am attaching a lobster via a jump ring. All right, now you can, for the other half, you can just get a nice big jump ring if you like, or you can do this. Okay, so these are in the shopping cart or the shopping bag. They are just 3-inch head pins. Oh, thank you, Monica. You know, I have always thought about going back short. About every 4 or 5 years, I cut my hair into like a flapper style. We'll see. We'll see if we're approaching that time soon. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire looping. You can do round nose. And we're going to go not quite an inch from our end. And we're up towards the nose, so we're going to create a small little loop. Here we are. And so we got the little loop. And then we're just going to do a couple wraps. This is what we do all the time. There's nothing different. We're just doing a nice little wrapped wire loop. There we go. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Yeah, I always go back and forth. Do I want to go short? Do I want to go long? All right, so now we can add a bead. You can add, we could add one of the, let's see, this one here used the avocado. So let's add the avocado bead. I think I'll do the little bit bigger avocado bead. And you could add a crystal, you can add whatever you like, but we're gonna put on this cool big avocado bead. And now we're gonna create another loop. But what we're gonna do is a much bigger loop, so we're gonna work on the back end of our wire looping pliers, or if you have round nose pliers, the back end of your round nose pliers, okay? So we're just gonna hold it like this, and we're gonna go way far to the back and leave a little gap for your wrappings so you can see where we're positioned, and give it a good squeeze, push it down, rotate it up, crisscross it, and when you pull out, you've got a nice big loop. And we're just gonna hold that loop in place with our chain nose, and we're gonna do some wraps. And if your wire ever gets too stiff, when it gets a little bit shorter here to do wraps, you can always go in with your other pair of chain nose and try to pull that wire. But I think that's good, and we're gonna trim it and tuck it just like normal. And then what I wanna do is I want my, well, I guess it doesn't matter if my loops are really facing the same way. I feel like I want them to though for some reason. So I'm gonna make my loops face the same way. I'm just gonna grab each one, pull it, just rotated it a little. Now, if you have a chasing hammer at home and a bench block, you could tap this down a little bit. You could kind of flare it out and tap it down a little bit. That's always kind of a fun finishing technique if you're making a handmade little component. But there is now going to be the other half to our lobster. So I'm just going to attach that with a jump ring. Now we could have attached it directly to this as well with this first wrapped wire loop. We could have slipped the little chain link in there and done that. So that's another option too, if you don't want to have a jump ring attaching it. but it's a nice little component to know how to make. So easy. If you don't have the 3-inch head pin, but you've got some wire at home, you can use wire as well. I would use a heavier gauge though. I wouldn't be using like 26 gauge wire to make that. I would do like 20, 21, 22. I'd kind of stop there probably. So there you go. So there is your little handmade wire wrapped component. And hopefully it was pretty easy to see that that was just simple. That didn't take a lot of effort. It's nice that you can add a bead that matches your design. So there is the other half to your lobster, and it holds it like that. So there you go. So we finished our necklace. Yes, absolutely. You could, for sure, Nancy. You could definitely make those ahead of time. You could put, like, I think a pretty little crystal bicone would be nice in there, or, you know, whatever beads you're using in your design. So we're going to pretend that I had 2 lobsters around and that we finished this necklace the same way. Oh, good, Francie. I'm glad. It's really easy to do that. Like that. Hopefully it's just wrapped wire loops, like what we always do. So it's just 2 wrapped wire loops with a bead in between. Oh, hello. Okay, so yes. So what we made today are these pretty polished rectangle necklaces, and we're calling these stacking necklaces because I think that's what we should all be doing, is stacking necklaces. It gives so many good options for wearing, but here's what they look like together. And then that's that finishing technique. And really fun. I like these. There we go. Yay. Oh, good, Cindy. I'm glad. I hope everyone uses that clasp idea. Do you guys want to see it one more time? Is it worth? I know we're running a little late today. Do you guys want to see it real quick one more time? It's because it was so easy. You just cut the head off the head pin. We're just talking a 3-inch head pin. I'll go a little faster on here. Just go towards the tip of your pliers for this first loop. We're just doing our regular wrapped wire loop. Nothing is different than what we do all the time. Okay, so we just make a couple wraps. 2 or 3, whatever you like. Okay, so you got your little wraps. Yeah, because I seem to never think to order the matching size of jump ring when I order my lobster clasps. I'm always stuck with lobster clasps and no way of finishing them. All right, so we've got that. Now we're just going to add a bead. Again, it could be any bead. Let's add a different bead this time. Or it could be a bunch of beads. It can be whatever you like. So we're just going to put a bead in there. And now we're just going to go on the back side of this. Now, if you just have a round nose plier, just use the back side of your round nose plier. Same premise. Oh, that would be cute, Lori. Good idea. Okay, so we're just going to go towards the back. So we're just much further back. Okay, rotate. Crisscross. There's our nice loop. Going to hold it. So now we've got that stem to wrap around. And let's do some wraps. Okay, after you've got your wraps done, trim your wire as normal and tuck your end as normal. And there is your little beaded component. So a little easy component to use in the future when you want to just go ahead and have a little easy way of finishing off your lobster. All right, guys, I'm going to pop the camera back up so we could say goodbye for today. But I'll be back on Saturday for Saturday morning cartoons. That'll be fun. I'm going to try to think what to do. I think I have some ideas in mind, so that'll be a lot of fun. But I hope you guys like the rectangles. I really had fun working with them, and I had fun designing with you guys too. I really like it when we design together. I think our ideas just work really well together. It's so fun to see everyone's ideas. All right, let me pop the camera up. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. take care. If you want to watch this from the beginning, the replay will become available in just a few minutes. Don't forget, you can share it to yourself if you want to go back and easily access it. Oh, thank you, Laura. I do too. I love our Saturday morning cartoons. I got to start wearing like cartoon shirts or something, though. I feel like I need to be in character for them. I need the cartoon shirt. Thank you, Francie. Yes, hopefully by the time Saturday rolls along, my voice will be 100%. The tool, Lori, is a wire looping plier. So it's a round nose and a concave. I use it all the time. It's my favorite tool. So it's just a really easy tool to use, makes really nice uniform loops. So it's my favorite. Oh, I'm gonna start coughing. So I'm gonna sign off. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, have a good couple days, and I'll see you everyone